One more episode of the She Means Business podcast. Señoras y señores, this one comes full of really cool stuff. Welcome to the She Means Business Master Society podcast, where we empower entrepreneurs to thrive in their journey. In each episode, we dive deep into the world of entrepreneurship. We've faced our fair share of challenges, and that's why we've created this space. Here, we will connect with incredible guests, key figures in their fields who have navigated the ups and downs of their entrepreneurial careers. Together, we will share our experiences, insights, and tools that can help you elevate your business to new heights. So, get ready to be inspired, motivated, and equipped with the knowledge you need to succeed. Let's jump into today's episode. Comenzamos. She Means Business. Welcome back, everyone. My name is Jaqueline Andrea. I'm a photographer and a personal brand developer. Today, my guest is not only a beautiful woman, but also highly accomplished. And she's also part of the She Means Business campaign for 2025. I have here today Ginger Campbell. Hi. I need fireworks for this one, okay? Because Ginger Campbell, she's a firework herself, okay? So, my friend, thank you for being here. Welcome.
Thank you for having me, Jacqueline.
I'm very excited. My friend is also a dancer, so you have two dancers today. So if we start dancing, don't mind us, just follow us, okay? So Ginger, I would love to, we have 30 minutes to pack so much information about you, about what you do, the Ginger Campbell experience when it comes to buying a home. I heard so many things, so I know so many great things about you. But first, tell me about yourself.
Wow. First, I'd like to say the way that you're putting together this program, Jacqueline, is amazing. And reflecting back on the experience is having your life story memorialized through photographs, a story, and a podcast is pretty incredible. It's life-changing in itself. And you say, I did that. I lived that.
Wow, yes.
I lived that. And if I cry, it's just tears of joy. But a little bit about me. I'm tireless with effort. And I believe that never hearing you can't or it's not possible was ever part of me. That drove me to make everything possible.
Love it.
Right? So we can go back, which is really important to know how I'm wired and what drives me and the fire inside. It all came through dance. But one thing one of my good friends once told me is dance is going to open all the doors for you because you're moving, you're emoting, and you're telling a story through expression. Expression and being real and unfiltered and in real time. So I was a young girl wanting to be a dancer, loved the dance studio, and it gave me passion, it gave me purpose, and it gave me therapy.
Most important thing, okay, when it comes to dancers.
So I won't bore you with all the little details of when I was younger, but moving forward into what makes Ginger Ginger was someone very important to me told me and gave me no for the first time of something that I really wanted to pursue. It was in my DNA, it was in my heart, it was everything that I wanted and believed that I could do. The roadblock was her telling me that I would never have a dancer's body. What is a dancer's body? You know, everything is accepted in my world. I don't see colors, I don't see shapes, I don't see skin tones. I'm all inclusive, and that's how I lead my life. And pretty much that is what really made me make that stance, was her telling me, you'll never have a dancer's body. It was a dance pageant, a title, just like a beauty pageant, although your talent was the most important thing. And then your interview, and then your costume, and all of that. She told me no. Heartbroken. She said you'd never have the dancer's body. So I was heartbroken. This was my mentor. This was someone that I lived up to. I traveled with this person. I was her star pupil. And I decided that that wasn't acceptable because my gut told me, you will be in this pageant and you will do what you're born to do. And I moved to the competitor, which happened to also be in the same city, with the story of, I want to do this. I want you to get ready for me, or me to get ready by you. And I want to win this title. So a year of preparation, study, understanding, the work that you have to put in. You have to put the work in.
Absolutely.
And I was prepared. And through her saying yes to me, everything fell in place. I got my weight down. I got the skill that I needed to take the stage and own that title, and I won. And the big part of that was that my mentor was actually sitting on the side of the stage. I didn't have to say anything because that was the biggest award to me, to show her that I could do it and that I did do it. And I still think about her to this day. It's a heartbreaking experience that you learn to appreciate the person that hurt you the most, because she gave me the fire to say, never again. If there's something that I want to do, I figure out how to do it. I go after it full force, 100%. I put the work in. I don't expect favors.
Most importantly, right? Most important part.
But I do believe that when you show up and you show up enough and you show them more than just your talent, your work ethic, your intestinal fortitude, your willingness to take the back seat, be in the back until you're ready to be in the front, that's my drive. That's what drives me to be from show business to a top performing real estate professional in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Oh my God. And this gives me goosebumps because there is so much more about your story, Ginger. It's amazing really how the path that you went through really took you to who you are now. And then you became a very successful real estate agent. But I also want to focus this in how does the Ginger Campbell experience looks like? Because it's not just buying a home. It's also getting to work with somebody that knows the 8 count, right? 5, 6, 7, 8, let's go. Tell me about that experience.
In my business, especially being listing centric, I do pursue and am very transactionally experienced in the listing side. And I look at it as, this is my brand, which represents their brand. Their home that I'm listing, I take ownership of it. If something is off and I have a job to do, I market. I market them and I market me, but that is my brand. And that's where you came in. Like, how do we tie all of this together for sophistication, class, and just the willingness to get your hands dirty? I do whatever it takes. There are times when I just did this yesterday, I'm remaking their bed. It's beautifully designed with all these pillows. There's just a certain mark you have to hit, just like when you do your photography, Jaqueline. You may have a gorgeous model and they may not photograph well, but you know all of the tricks to make us look the best for our brand and for your brand. Right? And so when I am working with my clients, we are working together. It is not them and me, it is us. And part of the brand is no shortcuts. No shortcuts. And I don't tell them what they want to hear, but I tell them the truth, which in the end, that's the why, and that's how we get things done, is not sugarcoating it. Let's see, how do we make this better? And having a brand, an identifiable brand, knowing what your brand is, that is allowing you not to make and cut corners. I have had interior designers that I've worked with before in the past, and to walk into a staged home, it's gorgeous, but sometimes it doesn't read well in photographs. So I'm not afraid to take over. We need to remove that. Yes, that looks beautiful, but trust me, this is what I do. This is how we think we get things done. I related that to when I walked into a dance studio. They're not going to hire me, or even in Las Vegas, when you walk into an audition in Las Vegas, you're walking in as if it's the first time that you audition, and you're hungry. You don't take it for granted, but you don't change anything about your process that has gotten you to the point where you're walking into Las Vegas from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, to take and command a spot in one of their Vegas shows. All of your preparedness has made you ready. It makes you ready, but you don't rest on your laurels. You keep skilling up, you keep getting better. And I don't walk in saying, hire me because I'm great. I'm going to show you how great I am. I can tell you all day long. And words are words, but actions speak louder than words. And that's my brand. I want to show you, not tell you.
I love it. And that is exactly how your mind works in everything, because you're also a dancer, right? So you mentioned about going into auditions, and how is this related? I mean, because we're both dancers. I'm a dancer, a photographer who dances. She is a realtor that dances. So how is this related? Or you mentioned a little bit, discipline definitely takes a big part of it, right?
Yes, it's discipline. And really, it's doing the hard stuff, like putting on, especially in Las Vegas, you lose a lot of toenails in those shoes and the tights that you have to wear. I'm closing doors and moving furniture, and I hit my finger the wrong way, and I've jammed a finger, and that's job hazard. But performing allows you to really be versatile with multiple personalities. It's just like taking on a character on stage. I'm putting on a production. That's what I look and how I look at my homes that I'm listing, even selling. Have they staged it appropriately to where when I walk in, it's going to speak to me? Same thing at an audition. Are you ready? Are you prepared? Do you show up ready? Is your hair done? Is your outfit on point? Why would they hire me? I want to show them why they would hire me. Of course, you have history and reels and photographs you can show them, right, but you have to show up. You have to show up and really represent the brand and your image of what they see in print.
I love that. And, I can totally see you, Ginger, coming into a house like a production, and the lights and the hey. And I can totally see you doing that. And your personality and social media and everything you have is exactly the personality we see in person. And I feel that is definitely part of the experience. You get what you see, right? It's like, yes, she's the wonderful person, but she's also very honest and very upfront. She's going to tell you exactly how things are going to work because she knows the business. So talking about a competitive world, we're, in real estate, and it's like very competitive, but there is the ones that don't survive, and there is the ones that survive and keep thriving. So what do you think is that? Why do you think is that?
Well, most importantly, it's knowing the brand, knowing the business, and knowing your customer that you're going after. Yeah. I do a lot of research. Not only do I look at the addresses, but I research the owners on LinkedIn. I look at all their social handles. So when I get to the property, I notice things that may be hanging on the wall. I want to be able to relate to them. And I want to consider them when I leave that appointment that we're going to be friends. We're going to be in each other's life, not just for 30, 40, or 60 days, but we're going to continue this relationship because I am going to be in a very personal space.
Absolutely.
And I always say, I am selling your home, but I'm selling your house, but you live in your home. So there's going to be a point when we have to pivot and we depersonalize the experience for the buyer, taking photographs off the walls, things that are going to be more neutral in nature. Okay. And I want to be able to speak to that as soon as I either look at their social handles, how I look in, do they have animals? Do they have children? Are they involved in community events? Do they like the same things that I like? So it's about knowing them as well, because I'm going to be working with them and I want to know how to relate to them on a personal level.
Absolutely. And there's a reason why this woman just got an award. And I want you to talk about that award because, first of all, you're not going to see my head in this one, but wow. I mean, you do deserve that award. I saw everything in social media. Obviously, I wasn't there, but I saw everything. And I'm like, if there is somebody that deserves an award and a standing ovation, it's you, because I've seen you working. So tell us about that.
Oh, my gosh. So this is my third year to win this award. And what it is our Women's Council, they put out invitations to women and based on their stats. And there's a list of things that will qualify you for that award. Not necessarily is it you buying and selling and your transactional stats. How many homes have you sold, right? But it's based on your community involvement. It's based on your story. And what type of person are you? Anyone can put numbers on the board, but how do you speak to that award? What makes you ahead of someone else? And it's really about giving back. It's about being in the community. It's about paying it forward to agents that are just starting the business. But in the speech I gave, they asked me this year, what would your walk-up song be? And my personality, you'll see it. My song was She's a Bad Mama Jamma.
I love it.
That's the first song that came to mind because I'm like, yes. I did this. And I think I sat or danced and sang on the stage for a minute. They had to wrangle me in to say, hey, stop, we need to take your picture. But I was so happy. And then it was really cool to see everyone's personality through the music they chose.
That's amazing.
So it's a special event, and it's a title that I'm very honored because there are realtors that have applied for this after they've been invited, or women realtors, and they haven't quite made the cut. And a lot of it is how you work in the community and how you use and love your city. Are you taking full advantage of your reach? Because when we sell property to people that are not local to Las Vegas, I'm giving them the experience of their first introduction to Las Vegas. And I don't want to screw that up for them. Right? I want their home finding and their house hunting to be an easy and happy experience, and let me take care of all of the objections and things that we must have to negotiate. Let me deal with that. And I'm very comfortable in that seat.
So do you have a lot of clients that come from out of state? But I don't want you to move from your award just yet, okay? Because I want to talk more about that. But do you have a lot of clients that come from out of state? Are those the majority of clientele?
No, I would say it's a blend. It's 50-50.
Okay. Is it mostly word of mouth, how you get your clients?
I do a lot of referrals through past clients. Last night I took a listing of a referral from a past client. And honestly, that one client referred the whole block to me. So my sign has been...
It's like, here is your turn.
Yes, and so they called me off of the referral. So your best business comes from your SOI, which is your sphere of influence, your past clients. And you can track one of my clients back to about 12 different customers. And so we're buying another house for them right now. So that speaks volume to the type of job that you did for them. Absolutely. So much so that you're top of mind when someone says, I'm looking for a realtor. There's a percentage that the stats out there in our boards and the National Association of Realtors, only 1% of homeowners that you've sold your home to is going to reuse you to list that property.
Oh, wow, it's very small.
That's
percent.
very small. And the reason is because you lose contact with them and or you sit on the throne and say, I am that great. They are going to pick up the phone and remember me. And we all get busy. I remember great people, but they're not top of mind because I'm not interacting with them. This is why our social media and our interaction on Facebook, this is why this was all created, so that we can communicate and have communities built with like-minded individuals.
It's called social media for a reason.
Correct. They had something with that. Now, it's not just Facebook. There were many before that.
Yeah.
And then I do a lot of corporate relocation. I work with a lot of corporate executives. So I relocate anyone from Amazon to McDonald's to hospitals to military. And I love that part of my business as well. So that's a large network of what I do as well.
Wow. So definitely, you said 50-50 on when it comes to the variety of clientele you have. But I like that you actually work on relocated all these people, because Vegas is such a, how you call it, like it's for a lot of people, it's temporary living, right?
Correct.
So they move and come and go. So, and you're that person to go to if you're looking to relocate. So yay for that. But before we move from your award, so I know we don't work for the applause, because we don't work for that, but it does feel great whenever you get celebrated for your accomplishments. So what would you say to these women that usually don't celebrate themselves when it comes to a big accomplishment like this? What would you say to them?
Jaqueline, it is so funny that you're telling me this, because I didn't feel good on the day of the award ceremony. I go, babe, I tell my husband, babe, I don't know. He's like, Ginger, go get your flowers. It is okay to say that you are great at something, that you're good at something, and really understand and know that you believe it. And it's being humble. So I always speak to, there's a subtle difference between humility and ego.
It is.
Right?
Yeah, there is.
You want, or confidence and ego. Thank you. I'm so happy I deserved this award. And say that you deserved this award because you know the work that you put into it. I would tell them, be humble in your efforts, but be confident in your wins.
Yeah.
And it is okay for you to win if you're 2 years in the industry. It is okay for you to come in and them select you over someone they may have worked with for years. And we know this in the dance industry of auditions and being on a team or in a show. You have contract renewals and maybe you don't get selected that next time around. And you often wonder why. And one of the questions is how can I, what was the deciding factor of you not choosing me so that I can grow from that? Grow from that, not learn from that mistake.
I love that.
So what moved the needle for me or not me? What moved the needle? And if you go back to how you are individually and how you're wired, put the work in. Don't mind extra asks. If someone tells me to stay late, we need to work on, okay, no problem. We got to get it done. Stay till the work is done. Never break your rules and your brand.
Very important. That part is very
Never
important.
break your rules and your brand. Even dancers have a brand. If you are a blonde and you're going to an audition as a blonde, now if they need someone that's a redhead and you're okay with that, and we know that because it's typecasting, but if they need someone that's a blonde and they decide they want you to be a redhead, well, you invited me because I'm a blonde, and it's going to be up to you to make that choice. But you could do a blonde headshot. You could do a red headshot.
Why not?
Why not? If that's your brand. You're a chameleon. Dancers have to be a little more of a chameleon than realtors do. But with real estate, if you break your own rule, 9 times out of 10, you're going to say, why did I break that rule? Because it does come back in the end. And that's why you have rules.
And you can regret it. And I feel that it works for a lot of fields, because it's like, no, this is who I am, and I don't want to change it for just because of a transaction or because a client or because you really want to stay. And I feel that that is another thing that marks the difference between you and a lot of realtors. You know, it's the fact that you say truth to your brand. This is who the brand is, even, you know, with everything, photography, colors, everything that is surrounding you and your brand, your personality. I mean, it's everything. And now let's say, well, we've been in this business for a long time, right? So now we are incorporating social media a lot more than we were before. So how are you bringing that more into your brand awareness? How does it work for you? Because you do it very well. Let me tell you.
Thank you. I have an assistant, and let's be clear, she's got her finger on the pulse in social media. However, I'm rogue. I'm going to post, and there are things that really draw people in, Jaqueline, and I find that people want to see you organic, not scripted in your private life. They want to see, they're curious. So I think all the rules apply for social. I mean, you're going to plug your business, but you're also going to plug how you're a human and the likability. And I find the more I put down or I put a video of me in the video, it doesn't matter what I'm doing. I could be walking across the street. People are curious. That draws them in. And social media is used to enhance your brand on all of your other systems. So you should have other systems. That's one part of your system. The human contact is still a big part, because the other thing is, don't always believe what you see online. This is why I show up organically, and this is why I see you. Again, this is a plug for Jaqueline, but I see you every 2 years, because what do I say, Jaqueline? My pictures are old. Let's update the pictures. We're updating our brand. I mean, this is part of your brand.
Absolutely.
And being relevant. Stay relevant.
Yeah, but you played so many roles, right? I mean, we were talking about so many jobs, and I want you to talk a little bit about the dancing part, because definitely it's something that you brought into your real estate world very, very gracefully as a dancer, incorporating definitely what it is, the discipline, and what you just said, right, about how you incorporate it into. But tell me more about what you do as a dancer, because you're very involved with the dance community here in Vegas.
Yes. So I pulled back a little bit. I used to do a lot of fitness classes because, of course, that is my passion. And so
that's how we met.
That's how we met, yes. So, I married my personal trainer because I've been at the gym. I live in the gym. That's part of my health and wellness. My wellness is my gym, whatever it is, yoga, dance, or strength. So I teach at one of the local big box gyms, Lifetime Athletics, Summerlin. And I teach classes there. And I do that for balance of my mind, right? I'm going to decompress from real estate when I'm teaching a meditation class. And so I have a practitioner that takes my class and saw an audition that came up for one of our local sports teams. And she stated, hey, I know what your background is. I think you'd be good for this. This is a team that they're going to launch that's over 50. I said, wow, okay. So the first year of this team being in existence, I wasn't available for the audition. So I said, well, let me know when it comes around again. Again came, and she was in my class, and she notified me and said, I'm sending it to you. Are you available? I said, I am available. So I showed up. There was over, I'd say about 150 enrolled in this audition. And the whole team is comprised of minimum age of 50. So I showed up, 21 spots, and I was chosen. So I was very excited about it. And I had a conversation about that audition later. So went through the season, best experience ever. Made some really great lifelong friends. So, a matter of fact, I'm selling one of them a home right now. Another one, I'm listing their home right now. So you're put in places for a reason. And so my worlds came together very nicely. But I wasn't there to sell and buy houses. I was there to live out my passion after retiring for 20 plus years.
Wow.
And when you step back on the court or the stage and you feel that feeling again, it's no other feeling. Where else can you come out of retirement and thrive?
All right, we're back after a forced pause. We're so excited here listening to Ginger Campbell, our guest today. So you were talking about how the dance team, how you made it to the dance team and all this stuff. So please continue.
So second year came around. We had over 100, I would say about 150 participants that enrolled. They picked 21. I made the team. I danced on the team. It was an amazing experience. And you just have that feeling, and you're on the court, you're on stage, whatever it is, and you're like, I can't believe this is happening again, and you settle into it. Wow. And then it becomes your new. And this is why the last 2 years we've had so many people that want to be a part of that. And I was taking class at one of the local dance studios here, and the front desk girls said, "Congratulations, Ginger, you made it again." So this is my third year with the team.
Third.
I love it.
So you've been with them from the beginning.
I missed the first year.
Oh, you missed the first one.
Because
That's right.
I missed the audition.
That's
and
right.
because I wasn't available.
Right.
And I was speaking to the desk at the dance studio, and they said, "What is it?" I said, "Okay, let me pause. Let me put this back on you. You're in Cirque du Soleil, you're in wherever you're at dancing, and you're in your prime. You move through your contract, and it's time for you to retire, and you say, now what? There are no more jobs. You can teach at a dance studio. I mean, you're aged out at some point. Even the best people, you're aged out. So this opportunity comes up, and it's not for everyone. I've done sports dance, sports entertainment. I've done concert. I've done film. I've done commercial. I've done it all. Because as a dancer and a person that wants that as their career, you have to be multi-talented in all genres. And I said, wouldn't you want to come back and do this again a second time? And they absolutely got it. The light bulb went on. So there's hope. We're giving hope to everyone. And even if you don't make the team, the experience is wonderful. So none of my processes change. When I go to rehearsal, I feel as if I'm walking into the ballet studio for the first time, getting ready for a show.
And that feeling, right? Feeling accomplished. And,
yes.
And, the fact that they are giving people the opportunity to reshine. And it's very difficult to explain what a dancer or a performer goes through whenever being on stage feels like. It is such a wonderful feeling. I am not a dancer, a professional dancer. I'm a dancer, but I'm not a professional dancer. And I can relate to everything you've said. And I'm getting to a point whenever, okay, I don't think I can do this very long, but I still love it. And I love seeing you shine through it. I've seen your social media posts, and it is amazing how every single one of these women that are in that team are shining in their very own way, very talented. And the fact that you being through this and keep going back, I love that for you, Ginger. And I love you. I love you, your personality, the way you conduct yourself. I want to say that I learned a lot from you. Every time we get together, either it's for pictures or whatever we do together, it's been such a learning experience. So I thank you for that. I love the process that you take whenever it comes to how you treat your clients, how you go through the process with them, how involved you are. So I'm very thankful for the opportunity to get to know you even more. And as I said from the beginning, Ginger is part of the She Means Business Campaign 2025, and we are very happy about it because her path has been I mean, amazing. And we are putting it in a book. And that is what makes it even more cool, because you can read about her and learn her story and also get inspired. It is amazing what you do. How can people find you?
Well, I have social handles, but really what I say, especially on social media, that's the best way to find me first, because I am very public because of real estate. My name is almost too public. I get all the crazy calls too.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, Ginger Campbell, closingdiva.com. That is my Instagram, but really pull my name up. Las Vegas, there's only one, but there is another Ginger Campbell. She's a doctor. I didn't take that path.
Oh. So Ginger Campbell, not the doctor.
Not MD, but anything that's going to be Ginger Campbell, real estate, high rollers, there's taglines that you can find me. So I would just say put my name in a search and find me through real estate first, and then you'll be able to explore all of my social handles and my craziness.
Yes.
Yes.
That lovely craziness. So, or you can find her on the dance floor. I mean, you can pick one or the other. You'll find her when you put definitely Ginger Campbell. So I am so happy to have you here. Thank you for being part of this campaign. Let's put the word out there, because there is a lot of struggles behind every single people that you see shining. But you said it very, very well. And it's like people don't see the struggles. You said it just the other day. People don't see the struggles that you see people shining. And the struggles is really what makes that person, right? Is there anything you would like to add?
I would just say, keep going. I mean, when people shut the door on you, open 10. Open 10 and walk in a bigger door. And
With legs.
with confidence, shoulders back, and smiling, and be happy to be there for the opportunity. It will come. It's about your mindset, having that grateful and positive mindset. And be grateful for all of your blessings, because when you reflect, especially if your story is memorialized, I will never complain again. I just want to get better and skill up even more. I'm not done yet.
Yes, I am going to leave you guys with that. She is not done yet. That was Ginger Campbell. My name is Jaqueline Andrea. See you guys in the next episode of the She Means Business Master Society podcast. Hasta pronto.
Thank you for listening the She Means Business Master Society podcast. We will see you in the next episode.